a chemical reaction. Whenever a reaction takes place, the reaction is formation of a new bond, breaking up of an already existing bond. For the formation of a new bond and for the breaking of a already existing bond, there is a need of energy. Energy is required for every chemical reaction. It might be in a different form. Energy in the form of a heat, energy in the form of a light or a sound or electricity. So energy is required for every chemical reaction. There is a difference between the energy of the reactant and also the product. So according to the requirement of the energy for a reactant and to convert that into a product, either the energy may be absorbed or the energy may be released. Now we are going to take the example thermochemical equations where energy in the form of heat is required for a chemical reaction to take place. Based upon the heat energy requirement, the reactions can be divided into two. Number one, it is exothermic reactions. Exo means the heat is liberated out. The heat is liberated out after the chemical reaction has taken place. And the next one is endothermic reaction. Endo means the heat energy is taken in during a chemical reaction. Now, when after a chemical reaction, suppose the heat energy is liberated out, that means it causes a rise in the temperature of the surrounding. Here, endothermic reactions, it makes the surrounding cool because it absorbs the heat energy. A very general examples we have already seen in our home will be lighting of a candle. You have studied in our earlier classes also. The lighting of a candle is an example for both chemical and a physical change. In that, when the candle light is being burned, there is a release of carbon dioxide and oxygen. That means carbon which is present in the candle reacts with the oxygen which is present in the atmosphere to release carbon dioxide. Or cooking of the fuel, that is cooking of food, that where we use a fuel, it releases heat energy. So we can see different types of energy being used in our day-to-day life. So let us see some examples which is given in our textbook. Number one, carbon plus oxygen gives carbon dioxide plus heat. Already this I have discussed. Now this is again an example for the combustion of fuel. Methane plus oxygen gives carbon dioxide plus water molecule. This we have already discussed that in the presence of this is usually happens in a fuel. And also a hydrocarbon. When hydrocarbon is oxidized or when it undergoes combustion, it only releases carbon dioxide and a water molecule. This is calcium oxide. Quicklime. Quicklime, when it is put in water for whitewashing purposes, when quicklime is taken and it is added to water, it forms calcium hydroxide or slackered lime with the release of large amount of heat energy. When hydrogen and oxygen combines together, it needs heat energy to form water and it also liberates heat energy after the reaction. This is a very well-known equation for you. The Haber's process manufacture of ammonia. The temperature usually the conditions under the conditions we have already learned it 450 to 500 degrees Celsius is required for nitrogen and hydrogen to combine together to form ammonia. It is again releases heat energy. This is a reaction which takes place in our body because of which we survive. That is the glucose that we take or the starch that we take. It is during the respiration process. Okay. When this during the respiration process, this is broken down to give carbon dioxide, water molecules and energy, and with the help of this energy only we are able to survive. Now let us see the example of endothermic reaction. Endothermic reaction, endo that means heat energy is absorbed inside. The very good example that I have already told you is Fe plus S gives FeS if you are remembering it. That is iron plus sulfur gives iron sulfide. This we have already discussed, that is in the mixture and a compound. When iron is mixed with sulfur, it remains as a mixture, but when it is heated, it becomes a compound. Iron is no more attracted by the magnet. So this is a very good example which we have already discussed. That is the reason before heating, iron and sulfur remains as a mixture, and after heating, it becomes a compound. So the characteristic feature of iron is lost and it gets a new characteristic. That is the difference we have already seen. So you can remember it very easily. When heat is applied, when carbon combines with higher sulfur, it forms carbon disulfide, and when iron is added to sulfur, it becomes iron sulfide. Now, the other example is when nitrogen reacts with oxygen to form nitric oxide. Nitrogen reacts with oxygen to form nitric oxide in the presence of, in this endothermic reaction. That means what? It is a reaction in which heat energy is taken inside. Now, calcium carbonate, that is limestone, when it is heated to 1000 degrees Celsius, it forms calcium oxide plus carbon dioxide. So these are the reaction in which heat energy is required. The formation of sulfide, the formation of nitric oxide, and the formation of calcium oxide and carbon dioxide. Now let us take an example, photochemical reaction. Photochemical, photo, it means this is a very familiar name for you, photosynthesis. Photosynthesis means synthesis that takes place in the presence of light, we call it as photosynthesis. So photochemical, a chemical reaction which takes place in the presence of light, we call it as photochemical reaction. This is a very familiar reaction. This is a photosynthesis reaction only. The carbon dioxide which is present in the atmosphere, it is absorbed by the plants and the plants takes in the water to form the glucose water molecule with the release of oxygen, which is very much essential for us to breathe. That is the reason we always keep telling grow more and more plants. This is an example of photochemical reaction. There is again a question that why is silver nitrate stored in black bottles? Because silver nitrate is stored in black bottles because when sunlight enters through it, you can see that it decomposes to form silver and nitrogen dioxide and oxygen. That is the reason why always silver nitrate is stored in brown or black bottles. It is usually stored in the black bottles. Electrochemical reaction. Electrochemical reaction, the name itself, it is very clear. The chemical reaction which takes place with the help of electricity is called as electrochemical reaction. This reaction is very popular and familiar with you. That is electrolysis, breaking of water, lysing water in the presence of electricity. We call it as electrolysis of water. We do it usually in the presence of acidulated water. We add a few drops of sulfuric acid because pure water is a bad conductor of electricity. So acidulated water, when it is subjected to electrolysis, it decomposes to form hydrogen and oxygen. Then fused KCl. Fused means molten KCl. As I have already said, this is a metal which is found on the topmost series of a metal order. It is found in the activity series. It is found on the topmost. That means it is a highly reactive metal. So these minerals, it is difficult for us to break them into its constituents. Why? Because these minerals are highly reactive. This metal is highly reactive. So such a mineral, when it has to be broken, it is subjected to only electrochemical reaction. So when a fused KCl is taken and it is subjected to electrolysis, it forms potassium and chlorine gas is liberated. That is the way of extraction of potassium from KCl. These are the energy changes that is involved in a chemical reaction.